One thing that's super annoying is every time I type the abbreviation for stay-at-home mom into my phone, autocorrect changes it to sham. Being a stay-at-home mom is really hard, and there are some super obvious parts to that. It is absolutely a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no sick days, no vacation, no time off job. In those early days, it starts with staying up through all hours of the night, and during the day, you only get to eat after your baby is fed and happy. And hopefully you're okay with mobility because you're standing up most of or all of the time. I'm constantly moving around, bending over, and exerting myself. And forget ever using the bathroom alone ever again. It's an all-encompassing job with no financial paycheck. But then there are the parts of the job that no one talks about. Nobody talks about the isolation, the loss of identity. No one talks about how lonely it can be. No one talks about crying in the shower because your day was so overwhelming. No one understands why you're tired or why you're irritable, and nobody understands why you need a mental break sometimes. Nobody understands why, even though you've been home all day, the house is still a wreck. No one understands why you're so tired. After all, you just sit at home all day. Even after all the work you put in, nobody understands how you can feel when someone tells you you don't have a real job. Isaac is literally the best kid I could have asked for. He rarely whines unless I don't let him dig in the garbage can. He smiles at strangers. He's happy to go along on errands. He's great at playing independently. I have an angel child, and it is still such hard work. This is when people say things like, how dare you complain that you have the opportunity to stay home and raise your child? Of course, I am grateful that I get to be here and spend my days with Isaac. But some of me, who I am, has been lost to being Isaac's mom. I used to be a teacher. I had an alarm set. I got up and dressed every morning. I drove myself into work and then did something with an agenda. And then I got to contribute to my household financially, which is maybe one of the biggest parts that I miss. And since I don't always get dressed every day and drive somewhere and have an agenda, people think I have a lot of time on my hands. And then they'll tell me they wish they could stay home and that they would not complain. And some people say, but didn't you choose to have kids? You should have thought about that before getting pregnant. I can't believe you say you want more. And I'm just trying to get through the fact that when I say I am tired, that's all I meant. I didn't ever say I didn't choose to have my kid. When I say I want some alone time, that's all I meant. I never said that I made some type of mistake in becoming a mother. When I say I need help, I'm not saying I'm incapable. People will take what you say out of context because all they see you as is a mother. But even then, if that's all they see you as, you're still expected to manage every single thing that happens in your household. I have to think about the cleaning, the cooking, the organizing, the planning, the dressing, the gift buying, the laundering, and the caring about the everything. If you're lucky like I am, you have a significant other like Chase who is happy to pitch in. But even when he handles certain chores, I am always behind the scenes of everything. Yes, he's more than happy to take out the trash, but I make sure there are trash bags under the sink. And yes, he's more than happy to load and run the dishwasher, but I make sure we have detergent. Even if we're close to running out and I ask him to stop by the store and pick something up, which he'll happily do, I still had to be the one to notice that we were running out. The mental load of the household manager is intense, and I can make an entire video about that by itself, but instead, I'm going to leave a link below to someone who can say it far more concisely than me. And most people expect this of the stay-at-home mom because, well, he supplies all the money. And honestly, when it comes down to it, if I did none of this, everything would still be okay. The chores would get done, Isaac would be happy, the world would keep spinning, which sometimes makes it even harder. And back when Isaac was a newborn, I couldn't even do half the chores that I do now. I was looked at as someone who sat at home all day and got nothing accomplished. But I'm here to tell you, when you have a newborn, most days you will get nothing done, and that is okay, because the nothing you're doing is actually very, very, very important. You'll get yourself fed, you might get yourself dressed, but most of what you do all day can't be measured. It takes so much energy to respond appropriately and with patience through fatigue to smiles and tears and hunger cues and sleep cues. You're keeping your baby clean, which most days involves more costume changes than any non-mother could imagine. You're teaching a helpless, tiny person everything about the world. And most importantly, you're building a foundation of love and trust between you and your baby. One that helps you make informed decisions about your child. It will inform your future interactions, and it'll help provide a base for how your child interacts with the rest of the world. Oh, and you're becoming a mother. Our culture just doesn't have a good way to measure what you're accomplishing. Your baby will grow and meet milestones, and to the untrained eye, at the end of the day, it looks like you've gotten nothing done. But there is no greater task than the nothing you did yesterday, the nothing you did today, and the nothing you'll do tomorrow. Caring for a baby is all about the immediate experience, and it's all about the investment. It's give, 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 and give some more. And as you do what might be the hardest work of your life, it will look like you're accomplishing nothing. And this may sound super redundant, because I may have said this in so many videos before, but there is never a time in my life where I will look back and say, I wish I spent less time with my baby. I'm not gonna look back and remember the dishes I didn't get done in those early days, the laundry I didn't fold, but I'm absolutely going to remember the first time he smiled, and the first time he rolled over, and the first time he reached his hands out for me when I reached to pick him up. I will remember the way that Isaac looked at me. Over time, the hard parts are going to fade away, and what I'll be left with is the love that he and I have built with each other. And I have to remind myself of that on the days that are hard, that the hard times will fade, but I was born for this job. It's the best job I will ever have, and the most important one. It looks like Isaac is waking up from his nap, so this is where I'm going to end it for today. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.